right, let's talk now about President-elect Trump's pick of his longtime ally and the former wrestling executive, Linda McMahon, to lead the Department of Education. The fate of the agency does look uncertain, with Trump himself having called for the department to just be shut down. It's to eliminate it. He said so in the campaign. Let's bring Kim Anderson in first here, Executive Director of the National Education Association. Then we'll have another viewpoint right after that. What is your view? I'm going to put up the credentials of Linda McMahon. You'll see at the top here when it flashes up that she did serve on the Connecticut State Board of Ed some years back. Your thoughts on the pick?
Well, it looks like a continuation of Trump's first term and Besty DeVos 2.0. We don't think she's qualified. Look, you go from a Secretary Miguel Cardona, who was a classroom teacher and then went on to be an administrator and then lead the State Department of Ed in Connecticut, to Linda McMahon, who doesn't have any experience in teaching or as an educator. We don't know her base of knowledge, and she certainly hasn't ever worked in the education system in this country.
Here's my question: is what would the practical concern be, or the biggest one from your point of view? In other words, I'm sure she'll push for more private roles, or maybe she'll push for more charter schools. I don't know, but she'll push for more choice, I'm sure. What's your concern of what could actually happen with her at the head of the department?
Well, the question is whether or not she pledges blind allegiance to the Trump agenda, which, as we know, calls for national vouchers that will divert public taxpayer dollars into private schools. And voters all across this country, and in fact, just this November, voted against that in wide numbers in Kentucky and Colorado and Nebraska. It's a hugely unpopular kind of an initiative. Mm-hmm. The vast majority of Americans support their public schools. And so our question to the nominee is whether or not she'll continue the Trump agenda. She certainly did as chair of the American First Policy Institute, and so that would be one of our overriding concerns.
I would think she would if she's his pick to be Department of Education Secretary. But this wider point of wanting to, as Republicans have pushed for and Trump has supported, get rid of the department altogether, is that something you think is a legitimate fear or concern, or it's being overblown and it'll never happen?
Well, we certainly think members of Congress will have something to say about that. I find it hard to believe that there are votes in Congress to do that, given the fact that there are billions of dollars that flow into members of Congress's districts and states for the benefit of students. So we will, of course, stand together with parents and students and communities across this country and raise our voices to members of Congress about the fact that this is a bad idea and will harm students by increasing class sizes and putting in jeopardy the protection that the Department of Ed does for students, like students with disabilities, and protecting their civil rights.
To Kim Anderson, thank you for that point of view. I said we get a different point of view. That's from Tommy Schultz. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.